the Herculean effort to get my first 2 guesting request emails out to podcast hosts, what I call my pod pitch email template, my pod pitch guesting request email template. So I've been trying to get that email to good enough and have been delayed in sending out the emails, and I was hell-bent yesterday on getting those first two email requests out, and I did it, and that's what this episode is all about.
You know when someone is selling from stage and at the end the audience gets up and rushes to the back of the room to buy? That's a table rush. My name is Mischa Z, and the Table Rush Talk Show is all about bringing you the tools, strategies, and tactics that you can use to grow your audience and inspire them to buy.
It's a lovely morning in Encinitas, California. By the way, it's 7:30 a.m. and there's the nice marine layer and super thick fog. It's really cool. There's a really thick fog layer out. You can barely see 100 yards in front of you. I believe at this point there's a heat wave circulating around the rest of the country, but the little bit of the fog layer and the marine layer and being on the coast of Encinitas is helping it keep it generally nice and cool around here, although it is definitely muggy, or the humidity, high humidity, not like the south, the southern states of America humidity, but humidity for coastal California humidity. Anyhow, as I record this, yesterday I finally got those first two pod pitch guesting request emails out. Again, I'm trying to guest speak on 50 podcasts in 100 days, and I'm in the booking phase. So the tour hasn't started, but the booking phase has started. And man, oh man, it was a big effort to get those first 2 emails out. I still have the tail end of that cough, so I might cough on this episode a little bit too. I apologize for that. So yes, it was a Herculean effort to get the first 2 emails out. And I will tell you this, the great news is that now that I got those first 2 emails out, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be very easy to get more pod pitch guesting request emails out. In other words, to put it in plain words, I'm pitching myself to show hosts. It's probably what I should call the thing, the pitch yourself to a show host email framework. I might just do that. But anyway, the script, the template is done. It's to my liking. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, if I spent 2 hours a day focused on just sending out email invites, podcast guesting requests, yes, that would definitely lead to something. And so I've got my framework done. I'm going to go over it with you here in a sec. But it also includes attachments. So really, the Herculean effort was get the body of the email done to my liking, and then I was like, oh no, I've got attachments that I'm sending as well, so I need to get those attachments done. And the attachments are, one of the attachments is my previous guest appearances. So I needed to put together a list of my previous guest appearances, get all the links, get the headlines, things like that. And within that, I also included a testimonial from a show host. So show host testimonials. A show host gave me a great little testimonial. So I'm going to try to remember to get show host testimonials. And actually, as I write this, as I record this, gave me an idea. I'm going to move the show host testimonials to the top. Ooh, that's beautiful. I love that. Then they can just watch the testimonial. That's really what they want to know. Is this guy a good interview? Okay, there we go. Glad I talked that out with you. Thank you for listening. And then the next attachment is the suggested show title and 4 to 6 bullet points of the show flow. So as a podcast host, you interview somebody, it can be time consuming to come up with a show title, come up with the flow of the show, the questions to ask. And so if you provide that for somebody up front, it can make it a lot easier. So I made that attachment, and that was a lot of work. And oh my gosh, I had a ton of insecurity around the bullet points or the show flow. It was a surprising amount of insecurity. We want everything to be perfect. So I want the script to be perfect. I want the script to guarantee that it's going to get people to say, yes, I'll book you on my show. And then, I want the guest appearances, that list, to help ensure that happens and not detract from it. And detract, what I mean, it's kind of like saying, someone's like, yeah, I want him in. I want to do this. So then they look at the guest appearances and they go, oh no, I changed my mind. Sorry about that. My throat is still wonky. It was horrible, but what are you going to do? And then same thing with the bullet points, right? You're thinking, oh my gosh, I got the bullet points down. If somebody actually opens the bullet points, and then is that the detraction? So holy mackerel, there's a lot of lots of things to worry about. And again, keep listening. I'm going to tell you what the framework is of the email invite, the pitch yourself to a show host email framework. There we go. That's what I'm going to call it. The pod pitch yourself to a show host email framework. So I'm going to break that down for you so you can see what I've done there. But I basically went to Funnel Hacking Live in 2021. I also went in 2022. As I'm recording this, I have my rooms booked for Funnel Hacking Live 2023. I'll be bringing both my boys with me, so I'm super excited about that. Because Funnel Hacking Live is amazing. 5,000 to 7,000 like-minded entrepreneurs. Amazing networking, amazing opportunity, amazing opportunities to test hooks, to talk to people, to build relationships. So 2 of the main things that I'm doing when I go there, me and my boys who are my team, Cooper, Waylon, and I, is to look for people that want to join the Influence Army, that go, yes, we want to join the Influence Army. We want to know how to go on an influence tour. Help us go on an influence tour. Help us start speaking on podcasts. And then the other thing is look for people to partner with who go, oh my gosh, I'd love to have you on my show teaching my audience about the power of guest speaking. I love that little hook. the power of guest speaking on other people's shows. So yeah, looking for partnership opportunities where people have email lists or their own shows of all kinds, and they go, yes, Mischa, we'd love to have you on our show teaching about the power of guest speaking on other people's shows. So the perfectionism piece of all this, right? Trying to get the email script perfect so you know it's going to work before you send it out, right? And then using ChatGPT to help me and trying to get guarantees. I'm like, could someone guarantee me that this script is going to work? Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Here, I'm going to give you right now the breakdown, the framework of the script of the pod pitch. So number 1, engaging subject line and pre-header text. This section aims to catch the recipient's attention and encourage them to open the email. It provides a tantalizing glimpse of your unique value proposition. And what was my headline? I can't remember what my subject line is off the top of my head. Anyway, sorry about that. Then we've got the personal greeting. The greeting is where you personalize the email with the host's name. And then third is you go into your exciting proposition and value offer. This is where you share your mission and the benefits it could provide to their audience, offering to share your insights on their podcast. Then you get into the potential episode title and talking points. This section provides a suggested title and bullet points for the potential episode to make it easy for the host to visualize your interview. Then number 5, the reciprocity and efficiency section. Here you offer the host a chance to appear on your own podcast, creating mutual benefits and suggesting a time-efficient way to do both recordings. Section 6 is the scheduling link. You provide an easy way for the host to schedule the interviews with you. 7 is personal connection and compliments. Section 7, personal connection and compliments. You express your admiration for their podcast, mentioning specific episodes that you've enjoyed and demonstrating that you've taken the time to understand their content. Section 8 is review and screenshot. This section includes a 5-star review of their podcast to show your appreciation, along with a screenshot for proof. Number 9 is closing and signature, a friendly sign-off expressing excitement for potential collaboration and a call to action for them to let you know what they think. And number 10 are the attachments section. So relevant attachments are included to provide the host with more detailed information about the interview flow, the review, etc. And this email, this structure, gives the email a clear flow and covers all the key points that we want to communicate to our host that we want to guest speak on their show, making it easy for the host to follow along and see the benefits of our proposal. So there's the framework. Awesome framework. Yes, I was talking about Funnel Hacking Live 2021. I saw Johnny Lee Dumas speak there. And Johnny Lee Dumas is a very famous podcaster in the entrepreneur space, so he speaks to entrepreneurs. His podcast is called Entrepreneurs on Fire, and he gave an email invite script, a guesting request script. He said, hey, here's a script you can use. And my favorite parts about it were how you do the 5-star review. So I love that. how you reference their podcast and an episode that you listened to and enjoyed. And then specifically, I loved how he says, hey, give a title example and the 4 to 6 bullet points for the interview flow, because it saves so much time and effort for the podcaster. And so, one of my main fears around all this is being that specific. It's like when you go specific with your audience and you call out an audience. It's like, no, I want to help everybody. I'm scared that if I limit my audience, if I limit who I'm trying to serve, if I shrink that down. So for me, I've shrunken it down to currently heart-centered entrepreneurs, for example. When I call out my heart-centered entrepreneurs, I'm pushing away everybody who doesn't relate to that. And what's going to happen? Well, it's been very powerful for me to call out an audience. I would encourage you to call out an audience. It's very powerful. As a matter of fact, one of my frameworks is the call out your audience headline. And as a matter of fact, my next episode is going to be about somebody in my Influence Army membership who used the call out your audience headline to great effect, securing a $30,000 package. So they had an opportunity to speak, and it got them a $30,000 package. Anyhow, you have that to look forward in the next episode coming up. So yes, this email template, this pod pitch the show host email template gets very specific on a show idea. And man, that's very disconcerting to me, or it's scary to me. Am I limiting my opportunities, or is it going to help create opportunities? That's the question. More will be revealed, but I loved how Johnny Lee Dumas did that, and so I borrowed heavily from his script to make his my own. I gave you the framework for my script. You can also go to guestingguide.com. Go to guestingguide.com, and you can get my free guide on how to go on your own profitable podcast tour. But nonetheless, I've got my framework. I've got my email template done. It's very easy for me now to just simply listen to an episode of a podcast that I like, reference that episode in the email, and then send the email to the host saying I'd like to do a collaboration with you. So pretty cool. Go to guestingguide.com. You can get my free podcast guesting guide, and let's rock and roll. I'm going to try and get at least 2 email invites out a day.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Table Rush Talk Show. For resources to help you sell your stuff, go to belove.media/resources. That's belove.media/resources. And be sure to subscribe, comment, 5-star, and share. Thank you again for listening.